Let's cook back again, making another recipe. I'm using the rest of that pork loin from my first recipe, the bourbon pork and peaches. You can see the ingredients up here on the screen. This recipe I found online. I had to make a couple alterations because I didn't have all the ingredients. Basically, this is balsamic and garlic, slow cooked pork loin. You just saw me make the seasoning rub, and I'm just coating the pork with it now. I changed out the paprika with red pepper, and it gave it a nice little kick. So I personally recommend that, but I really like red pepper and spicy food. And then after that, I just seared the outside to try and give it a nice crust on the skin. Just putting it a couple minutes on each side till it's kind of golden brown, trying hard not to burn the actual spices. This recipe I found on diethood.com. It's a website I haven't used before, but I'll make sure to link the recipe in the description below. But after browning the outside, I went ahead and made the sauce that covered it. I wouldn't really call it a glaze, not exactly sure what it would be called, but basically mixing olive oil, balsamic vinegar, garlic, which again I used minced garlic because we have this huge jar of it, and then a little Italian seasoning, and you just pour this over the top. It says to use a basting brush to kind of brush it on, but that's another tool that I'm missing, so I just poured it over the top and it seemed to work. I wanted to make sure I got the oil and vinegar mixed up really well, so I spent a little while mixing this together, not sure if that was really necessary. It said to use a blender, but since I had minced garlic, I didn't really feel like I needed to use the blender. And then you just kind of mix in the Italian seasoning at the end real quick. I apologize for the camera angles during this. I thought they would be better, so I'll try and focus and get better camera angles next time I make this. But now it's time to put the pork into the slow cooker. You just use a third a cup of chicken stock, I believe, which I used beef stock because I didn't have chicken stock at the time. Then put the pork in with the fat side up and cover it with the balsamic and oil sauce that we made. Here's where you'd use the basting brush if you had one, but I just kind of used a spoon to spread it over the top and make sure it was covered. And then I cooked it on slow for about 4 hours, and it turned out perfectly cooked in the middle and still juicy. So here it is, the reveal. I think it looks pretty nice personally. I just covered it with aluminum foil and let it rest for 15 minutes and made the sides for dinner, which we just had salad and baked potato. As you can see that I'm slicing it, it's cooked perfectly through all the way to the middle, and it was still really juicy. I'm sure you could take some of that sauce left over in the slow cooker and pour it over the top, but it wasn't needed. I did not do that, and it still turned out delicious. So this was a really fun recipe. I had a good time and the food was really good. I recommend you go out and try it and let me know what you think. I appreciate any comments and subscriptions. Thanks and see you next time.